right, guys, I don't know what you have. I got a couple things here. First of all, you know I love the name Shabuzi, and it came to the forefront with me for that halftime performance Thanksgiving. But hey, he must be the real deal, guys. I mean, he was the musical guest on SNL this week, so
I
that's
thought
kind of
we
cool.
didn't talk about it. I thought he put on a hell of a show. I really
Yeah,
do.
was good.
I don't know what you guys thought where you're watching it, but I thought it was a good halftime show.
Yeah, it was. It was
It was
good,
solid.
And I never knew the guy. Just the name cracks me up, but yeah, he's pretty
I
good.
mean, he's blown up recently. He's got a few really big hits. So yeah, he's maximizing. Halftime show, SNL, he may as well
Right.
do it.
Absolutely. Another show I watch, I like my docs, especially music docs. There's one on Disney Plus called Beatles 64. Really interesting. A lot of film that I had never seen before. Backstory of their 3-week trip to the United States in 1964, the British invasion. They came to the U.S. to make an appearance on the Ed Sullivan Show. They played 3 or 4 different concerts at stadiums, including in Miami. But if you get a chance and you have Disney Plus and like Beatles music, this is the Beatles in their prime when they first came over to the United States and made a big splash. I mean, this, the kind of the tie-in on this was, they came to America and everybody got Beatlemania right away. Women just fell in love with them. They were huge. I mean, and it came right after in November. They came to the United States in December. In November was when Kennedy was assassinated. Actually, they came in February of 64. So it kind of changed the mood of the country a little bit from being down in the doldrums to what is going on here with this group.
Right.
It is interesting to revisit that stuff. Those big, huge moments in time.
Feel like we're due for a Beatles biopic with, I don't know, Timothy Chalamet playing this guy, and some of these young stars like a 4, filling up those 4 Beatle roles.
Do you think
we're due for that in the next year or 2?
You're right.
Do you think they would ever? Do you think the Beatles are too big to do something like that? Like, there's Walk the Line, obviously, with that's about Johnny Cash and everyone. There's the new one. There's another one. Of Bob Dylan.
Chalamet's playing like Bob Dylan.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that'll be good. Do you think they'll ever do one like that for the Beatles, or are the Beatles like too big? You don't even want
it? I think they could. I mean, look at the one they did for Queen. I mean, that was pretty amazing. Really, the casting was incredible. I don't know. They'd have to get the rights to the Beatles music. That's part of the battle.
Part. Right.
Yeah.
Are they uptight? I mean, it seems like they have a zillion documentaries about them. Are they uptight about that sort of stuff?
I don't think so.
Maybe I mean, they do have 4 different members and they ended poorly, so maybe there is some barriers. But yeah, it just seems like I would be tuned into that. That's how you introduce a whole nother generation to the Beatles
and their music. Yeah, absolutely. And I got one other one here. I hope I'm not stepping on you, Matt. It's from Netflix. Another one of those murder mystery things. Cold Case: Who Killed John Benet Ramsey? Did you watch it? And was that what you were going to talk about?
Was that on your list?
It was. That's fine.
Well, I'll let you talk about it then. I watched it. What are your thoughts?
Well, so yeah, that's one of those cases. Maybe not quite like your interest in the OJ case, but that case, John Benet Ramsey, is such an interesting one because, the name of the thing, it's still cold. They haven't figured out who actually killed her. It's obviously super sad. All of these are sad, but super sad because she was only 6 years old at the time. So and everything how it played out. It's just so crazy how, I don't know, Jared, have you ever watched anything on that case? Do you know anything about that case at all?
No,
so she's obviously a little girl. It was kind of like a staged kidnapping, but she was killed in her own home. And the way the whole case was handled, the way the police, it was in Boulder, Colorado, the way it was handled there, the way the parents kind of handled the situation afterwards with the media. And then the brother was kind of invited. It was just a very strange case. But this one, I've always been under the assumption that the parents were involved. I was always like, man, the parents are in on this. I don't know. It's just all very weird. There was a ransom note that was really odd. But this one, from the jump, you could tell it was made to clear the mom and dad. Because the minute that the dad was in the documentary, 5 minutes into it, I was like, oh, he wouldn't agree to do this if they're going to put it on him. So this whole thing is going to be trying to clear him and his wife. His wife has since passed away, the mother of the child. But no, it was still good. It's interesting. It wasn't much new, but I don't know if those were your thoughts. I was almost a little turned off of it because I was like, oh, you're going to try and swing me the other way.
I can't stand the docu where it's like, where it's so bad. Like, think like The Last Dance was awesome. That was Michael Jordan's. Like, and I still love it. I still think I still would watch it tomorrow, and I still love it. A lot of these documentaries where they have the final cut, it is like kind of turns you off. It's like this isn't even a true retelling. It's your side. Right. Not that it's necessarily the wrong side, but let's just get an unbiased look at this thing.
Yeah, I have a little different look at it. I thought it was well done for the most part, and there was a few things that were new, and it did sell me that I don't think they did it. I don't think they had anything to do with it. It is one of the more bizarre cases, though. You brought up the ransom note, but the thing that's going to solve this case, I've seen this on different date lines, this familial DNA, where they have these detectives that take DNA and they track down because of what are the different sites that you can turn your DNA in and you can find out,
like
ancestry.com.
23andMe. Yep.
So they can track down actual family members and do detective work, and figure out who did it. There is DNA that's unaccounted for that they don't know who it is. It's not the Ramseys, and they're going to find this person. I think they're probably going to find him within the next couple of years with this new type of DNA. So I don't know. It was well worth the watch. It was quick 3 parts.
Do they hold on to like the clothing or something? Like how is it, 30 years ago? How are they like, all right, let's go back and look at the DNA? How does that work?
It's not, I don't think it's from the clothing. I think they pulled the DNA from the clothing, and it's stored in I don't know, little bottles,
Gotcha.
Right.
So they're able to at least take a piece of DNA and check it out. So that's what they're going to end up finding, and this documentary did point the picture that the police completely bungled things. Man.
Oh, they did.
I mean, you think about it. They go in the house and they do a search of the house and don't find her. And then the old man does a search. They leave him to go on his own, and he finds her. I mean, that just set the stage for all kinds of questions.
Where was she?
She was like in the wine cellar,
in the basement.
Basement.
It was like 6 hours later too. They call the cops, and they're having friends over and stuff because they think she's kidnapped because of this ransom note. And then, the cops don't even find her in the basement, but then they tell him to go search the house again, and he finds her. So it was all
bizarre.
So bizarre, and obviously a shame to begin with. And then, it's always funny to go back to those times and see what life was like back in the 90s and early 2000s or whatever.
And there is a tie-in for you, Jared. I mean, I don't know if you knew this. I mean, you used to work in the landscape business, and you used to go up north and do landscaping for your boss, right?
Okay, yes.
In Charlevoix, right?
Yes.
The Ramseys had a house in Charlevoix. They spent a lot of time in the summers up in Charlevoix.
The more you know. Do they have a mushroom house that they're known for in Charlevoix? Do we know?
No, but I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. No, the more you know. All right.
Well, no, it was solid though. I would, if there was anyone that knows, maybe like Jared that knows nothing about it, it would be a good one because it lays, most of the details out of the whole case. And like I said, three episodes, quick watch. I was going to bring that up. I was also going to bring up Yellowstone. I haven't watched the latest episode, but I'm caught up. The one thing, so it's going to play out great. I mean, they're killing people off. I mean, characters are just dropping left and right. So I don't know what's happening there with the writing, if what they're going to do. I thought this was going to be the last season of Yellowstone, though, that they were going to continue the other ones, the 1923 and some of those other ones. But unless I missed it, in the last episode I watched, they said that the season finale is coming up, not the series finale. And I was like, wait, I thought Yellowstone was done. So this is continuing after Costner. Is this when McConaughey comes in? Wasn't there rumors that McConaughey was going to come in?
Whatever happened to that? I thought he was like a done deal.
Yeah, I don't know. And I have noticed, like you said, they're killing people off. So I don't know if they're switching storylines, what they're going to do, how it's going to end up. I am completely up to speed. I've got just the season finale yet to watch. Is that where you're at yet? Or are you one behind? Okay.
I'm one more behind. I haven't watched last week's, but
okay.
I saw it. Go ahead.
I was just going to make one comment about last week's. I wasn't overly thrilled with the whole plot on that one. The writing of that last episode didn't really seal it for me, but
I saw they had Bella Hadid, like supermodel, like cameo on it. Taylor Sheridan, he understands a few things, like how many hot chicks can I cram into this show in cowboy hats and cowboy boots? And when you know it, you're probably going to tune in and watch it. So,
well, there's some of that on the Billy Bob show. I'll tell you that much. There's definitely some eye candy in that one. I don't know. You guys got anything else? You got anything?
Yeah, I mean that was gonna be
real quick.
Yeah, I'm still locked into Yellowstone though, like because
Okay.
I want to see how it plays out. They're not
Me
going to
too.
lose the ranch. I'm convinced they're not going to lose the ranch. There's going to be some sort of settlement or something like that. That's my theory. Casey's going to take it over.
Battle. How many seasons have they gone? 9. It's going to go 15 if I had to guess. If you're saying it's not, if soon as Costner left, they're not ending it. Like it's a money cow. It's a money cow. They're just gonna keep rolling.
It's still a good watch too. It's okay. It's a good show.
Yeah. All right. I got one real quick thing on Netflix. It's a documentary, Mr. McMahon, about Steve McMahon of WWE, WWF.
Yeah.
I never am. I still am not. I think it's the weirdest thing ever, WWE. But McMahon, you got to appreciate McMahon. Obviously, he's a troubled guy with a checkered past, but just a visionary and just like an interesting cat, almost a cartoonish type figure. Just with a fascinating story. What I like about this documentary, I think Bill Simmons had a big hand in it, is they did a big interview with McMahon, but he didn't have final edit over it. So this is them trying to tell the story as objectively as they can, the good and the bad of what made McMahon who he is. And it's watching some of this old video of WWE. It's hilarious. Like there's one part I'm in episode 2 right now. And there's a reporter going around asking them all, like he basically went undercover and said, "Oh, let's interview Hulk Hogan to see how popular he is." As soon as he got into the WWE, circles, he's asking everybody, "Oh, why is it all fake? Why do you have razor blades? Why are you cutting your forehead?" Like basically just trying to blow the lid on this fake wrestling thing. And this wrestler just takes it upon himself to like smack this guy like 2 or 3 times, and just like knock him. The guy like cowers on the ground and like runs away. And I'm just like, this is the Wild West back then. This is a fascinating business, and it's still going strong today.
Yeah.
Matt, are you a WWE guy? I don't. I'm trying to remember if that's something you like or not.
I've fallen out since maybe high school or whatever. But growing up, I loved it. Yeah. Elementary school through middle school, I loved that stuff. I've definitely fallen out. It's insane though. I have a bunch of my coworkers are still huge into it. It's definitely more like a cult type of thing, but there are people that love that stuff. I definitely want to watch that because it would be interesting to see some of the backstory. Because, there are just that industry and that business is just absolutely insane. So much crazy stuff going on behind the scenes, and the money, there's so much money made in that stuff. So no, it'd be interesting to see that.
Yeah, my heyday was the Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin and Macho Man and The Rock. Once that era kind of fizzled out, I lost interest too. Yeah. But I will watch the doc. It sounds very, very fascinating to me.
Yep,
absolutely.